Steve here from New Gamer Nation, and we're talking with Philip about Dungeon Defenders 2. We just got a chance to play the game. It was a lot of fun. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So Dungeon Defenders 2 is an action tower defense game with role-playing elements. Basically, a sequel to Dungeon Defenders, and their enemies, they come in, they try to attack your main and sub-objectives, and you have to place defenses and then fight them back with your abilities.
And the game has like a lot of FPS-esque elements, but it also keeps the tower defense elements in there. And I hear you guys split up the mana. Can you tell us a little bit about that so now you can do both?
Yeah, so one of our core development philosophies with the sequel is that we want the action, the tower defense, and the role-playing to all happen together. We don't want them to be split apart. So one ways we did that, hilariously, was splitting apart the ability resource and the defense resource. By doing this, now you can actually use both. So you don't have to choose, oh, do I want to use ability, do I want to place a defense? You always get to do both. And because of that, we've been able to create a combo system between the abilities and the defenses where they interact. So you're actually going to strategize based on how you want to fight. And fight based on how you strategize.
Yeah, and a lot of the combos seem pretty cool because the characters interact with each other. We noticed that you can place a tower defense that shoots air, and if you're the wizard, you can knock them up in the air. Could you tell us about a couple of the other characters in the combos?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just go over a couple really quickly. The Huntress actually has an oil flask, and if you coat enemies with oil, then when one of them gets hit by fire, the fire will spread, and they'll get dealt damage over time. They'll catch on fire. You'll actually see it on them. So great examples are huge armored orcs. These guys can take a lot of hits and be fine. But if a apprentice placed a flame burst tower and it shoots down the lane, it may bounce between 5 smaller enemies and then hit one of the armored orcs. But if the Huntress had actually coated all of the armored orcs in oil, then they'd all catch on fire and get dealt damage over time while they walk down the lane towards your defenses.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you can talk about this yet, but I know I hit a button by accident and brought up like a leveling-esque system. Is there going to be ways to upgrade abilities and upgrade things?
I mean, yes, there will be ways to progress with both your defenses, your abilities, your heroes, and of course it's a loot game. So what you're playing here, as you said you had fun with, this has none of the RPG mechanics of the game. So it's a huge loot game. An example that we're telling people, which may or not make it in the game, is, for example, you might find a frost sword. This will have to do with the combos that we talked about, where you can freeze enemies. But now you may completely change your defensive setup. So you might place a bunch of cannonball towers around the whole map, run around slashing enemies, freezing them, and watching them shatter due to the smashing damage.
Do you have a release date?
We're planning soft launch in spring 2014.
Okay, well the game looks great. We really look forward to it coming out. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. I hope you had fun.